up here. What is the code for a missing resident? Correct. At least how many hours before your shift starts are you to call in sick?
3 hours.
Are you allowed to leave a message when you call in sick?
No.
When are you allowed to have your phone on you?
Break.
Break time and meal times. Does SHUC provide a gate belt for staff providing direct care?
Yes.
Where are you allowed to smoke on SHUC property?
Nowhere.
How many occurrences of absenteeism or tardiness are you allowed in 90-day period before you receive a discipline?
3.
True or false? You must wear your name badge at all times where it is visible with your name and title.
True.
It's true. Are there any times that a gate belt is contraindicated? This is one of your questions. Anybody? 50-50. Someone has a colostomy, you should not use a gate belt. Someone who's had abdominal surgery, and anybody that has an abdominal wound. Has everybody got those? He's not on there?
No.
I must have took that one off then. These two things SHUC does to ensure individuals with criminal, civil, or administration violations are not employed. Reference checks, FBI checks, reference checks, exclusionary checks, criminal background checks, and FBI clearances. HIPAA is the protection of privacy and security of residents' health information. Yes. Can you share your username and password for POC or PCC with any other staff?
No.
Can you post pictures of residents on Facebook or any other social media?
No.
Who must follow the HIPAA law?
Everyone.
Everybody. Who is the corporate compliance officer? What is PPE? What should you place near a surface that has been mopped or had a recent spill? True or false? Never report an unwitnessed fall because you don't know what happened.
False.
What is a fall?
Any change of plane.
Any unplanned change in plane, undesirable relocation to the ground. All directors have what kind of policy? Open door policy. What is the best way to stop the spread of infection?
Hand washing.
Hand washing. What acronym does our core values spell?
Smell.
Smile. How do you know where the fire extinguishers are located? What is the order of evacuation for a residence in an emergency? Yep, somehow that got up there, I don't know. When should you report an accident or injury?
Right away.
As soon as it happens. Who do you report it to? What does the S stand for in our core values? No? Anybody? Support. True or false? Gate belts are to be available by nursing staff at all times.
True.
When you're done completing an accident injury report, who do you give it to? That's after the supervisor's already completed her section. Who do you give it to? Sandy. Who uses a lockout tagout? Maintenance. And what should you do if you see one? Leave it alone. True or false? It is a law that you must report when abuse has occurred or suspected has occurred. True. Why are we required to do that? And we're all mandated reporters. You have to report any abuse or neglect that you suspect. To avoid back strain, you should A, ask for help if something is heavy, B, lift with your legs, C, sit upright with your back supported, or D, all of the above.
All of the above.
Correct. Who can you report suspected abuse or neglect to? Supervisors. Mhm. What does RACE stand for? Rescue, alarm, contain, and evacuate or extinguish. What is a code gray? Nope. Tornado. If you don't know, they're on the back of your badges. What does the M stand for in our core values? Motivation. Where do you find information about chemicals and supplies used in the facility? Safety data sheets. If you're on workman's comp, how many days must you see a provider listed on the panel of doctors before you can seek treatment elsewhere? 90 days. Name 3 PPEs.
Gown, mask, gloves.
If you have been on workman comp for 90 days and you decide that you want to see another doctor or healthcare provider, how many days notice do you need to give Shook?
I don't think we went over that.
30 days.
5. How many people are needed to safely use a Hoyer lift for a transfer?
2.
True or false? Proper footwear for staff in patient care areas would include sneakers, Crocs with a heel strap, nursing shoes, and open-toed shoes.
False.
Why?
Open-toed shoes.
No open-toed shoes. Who responds to a code W?
Everyone.
What does the I stand for in our core values?
Integrity.
Integrity. What does PASS stand for?
Sweet.
Where do residents meet when we have to evacuate the building in an emergency?
Parking lot.
The parking lot, the staff parking lot, and what used to be the Elks parking lot that's now the new county parking lot. True or false? If you're being investigated for abuse and neglect, you can continue to work on the floor.
False.
Correct. What is a code orange?
Earthquake.
What does the L stand for in our core values? Love. Mhm. What 2 agencies do we report abuse or neglect to if it is a quarters resident? Anybody here from the quarters?
No.
Department of Human Services and the Area Agency on Aging. What 2 agencies do we report abuse or neglect to if it is a nursing home resident? Department of Health and Area Agency on Aging. How long are items in the refrigerator good for?
3 days.
3 days. What's a code red?
Fire.
Fire.
Who uses code care? What should an LPN do if she's not near the med cart? Lock it, and what else? Make sure the computer's locked. What device do we use to provide additional safety for our residents who wander?
Wonder Guards.
Wonder Guards. What does the E stand for in our core values? All of you are this E. Excellence. You're all excellent. Where can you find a list of medical providers for workman's comp?
For the time clock.
At the time, on the bulletin board and where else? In your handbooks. You all get a copy when you have orientation to put in your handbook. When should you have your CNA's assignment sheet on you? Always. If caring with someone with C. diff, you should not use hand sanitizer. What should you do? Wash your hands. What's a code pink?
Thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm. That one we hear a lot of. What are some types of abuse?
Physical, financial, mental.
Verbal, mental, physical, sexual, involuntary seclusion, and misappropriation of a resident's property. How do you know if a resident is a wanderer? I heard white name tags. They have white name tags on their room doors, and they have pictures in the treatment room. What would you do if you had a non-emergent maintenance need? Put it in the maintenance book. What is a code S?
Shooter.
Active shooter. How many people do an outside search for a code W, and how do they search? This is an outside search. How many people? 2. And how do they do it? Opposite directions around the building. When should you fill out an accident injury report? As soon as it happens, or anytime. How do you know what transfer status a resident has or what diet they are on? The CNA assignment sheets. Who's responsible for updating those? Licensed staff. If you didn't know what a Code W resident looked like, where could you find a picture? Treatment room? The kiosk? Anywhere else? Oh, they're in a binder now. I have to change that then. Used to be the treatment room. On the computer and in their room. Everybody has a picture of their room on their bulletin board, so they should. How often does the safety committee meet? Monthly. Name 3 things we would report to the appropriate agencies if they occurred in the nursing home or the quarters.
Abuse, injury.
Abuse, neglect, and misappropriation of a resident's property. Name 3 safety issues that account for many of the workplace accidents.
Slips.
Slips,
Strains.
strains, falls, slips and trips, sprains, and falls. How should you lift something off the floor? Use your legs. And what else? Hold it close to you and don't twist your body. What is the failure to provide goods or services necessary to avoid physical harm, mental anguish, or mental illness?
Abuse.
Neglect. I want to thank you all for your hard work. You all do a good job. I miss being on the floor, but I'm happy where I am.
Debbie, you want to see if you can find Leslie?
Leslie, yeah.
Okay, non-nursing staff are done. But